All right, folks, I think we are ready to roll here. And we are live. We are live to talk about retention tools. What an important topic right now, retention. You can't succeed in your business, in your company, if you can't hang on to your most important asset, those fantastic people who make your company run. And today in particular, I want to look at this very powerful idea that, in my view and in my experience, is an absolutely fantastic impulse, a fantastic idea, an absolutely ingenious insight that has been kind of weakly executed. And so let's give this powerful idea the power that it deserves by taking that impulse and channeling it in a much more constructive and a much more effective, through a much more effective tool. Well, let's take a moment and talk about where the exit interview comes from. Right? Excuse me, where the stay interview comes from. HR and leaders have been conducting for decades something that we call exit interviews. Someone decides to leave our company, and so we're interested in figuring out what can we learn from the decision that you've made about how to keep those folks who we still have. What can we learn about the strengths of our company? What can we learn about how the employee experience is going, and how can we improve on it from there? So the brilliant innovation that is stay interviews is is to be able to ask the people who are still here, and before they decide that they should go, why are you still here? What can we learn from the fact that you are still here? How can we capitalize on what you are experiencing that you like experiencing, so that we can increase that experience for you, so that we can increase that experience for others, so we can continue to retain you as an important member of our team, and so that we can continue to retain your peers and your associates as other important members of our team. This is a brilliant innovation to take this exit interview and tweak it so that we can learn a leading indicator of why people stay, instead of trying to staunch the bleeding after we've already bled, right? It's closing the barn doors before the horse leaves the barn. That's exactly what we need to be doing. So why do I say that it's both brilliant and dumb? That's why I think it's brilliant. The reason I think it's dumb is I think it's too little, too late. I experience with my clients that they find it is too little, too late. So the stay interview is something that I see companies doing once a year. So if I'm your employee, you ask me, we sit down, you ask me, hey, what, you're still here. We're so glad. Why are you still here? What are you getting out of this? How can we continue to keep you around? And so once a year we check in, and I get to share with you why I'm still here. A job search, however, lasts how long? Well, if you Google it, you get answers that are anywhere from 4 to 5 months at the long end to 3 weeks, 3 weeks at the short end. So what happens in a typical situation when somebody decides to leave is, if you had a stay interview with me, let's say 9 months ago, a lot can change in 9 months. Somebody might try to poach me, right? One of our competitive company, our competitors, are the dragon that's breathing down our back, might call on me and say, "Hey, we understand that you are having a great time over there at Acme Widgets. How can we bring you over here to Spacely Sprockets? We'd love to have you here. How do we bring you over here?" And so 9 months ago, you learned why I'm staying. Maybe 1 month after that, they started talking to me, started to make me feel good about what I can offer them, started to make me feel good about my expertise. They've been carefully and systematically increasing the likelihood that I would leave. And so sooner or later, I say, "Hey, folks, I've loved it here at Acme Widgets. I'm going to go to Spacely Sprockets. See you later." And you wonder, how is it that that happened? We just had a stay interview 9 months ago, and you're telling us that you're leaving. Well, you didn't stay in touch about what's keeping me here now. A lot can change in 9 months. So we gave one example uh, about how 9 months or less, that's one way circumstances can change. Spacely Sprockets reaches out to me. My wife might get pregnant. If I'm a female on your staff, I might get pregnant. What is our maternity leave like? Well, I wasn't planning on this, so maternity leave wasn't even on my mind when we had that stay interview. But it turns out now I've got family planning to do, family planning and all of that. Turns out the policy is better somewhere else, and so I start looking for something else because my circumstances have changed. Something may happen in my work experience. You can move me to a new department, hire a new job over me, hire somebody else in to be my peer, and it makes that person makes my experience different, makes my experience worse, and so I have become dissatisfied with my job, which can happen very quickly. I start looking for a job, which can happen very quickly. I get a job offer and I get hired and I'm gone, which can all happen very quickly. So, in the space of a quarter, 3 months, very easily, I can go from being satisfied, maybe even happy with my job, to deciding to go accepting another job offer and giving you my notice. So the stay interview, as it's typically practiced as a once a year opportunity to learn from each person why they're sticking around, is too little, too late. And now let's talk about the stay interview and its effectiveness. Very often, the stay interview is conducted either by HR and or by the direct manager and or by some other person in higher up echelons of leadership in your company. So uh, the thing about stay interviews is that they don't necessarily and often don't get the truth, especially about areas where I might be dissatisfied. So in our stay interview, you ask me why I stick around, and I give you all of the plus sides. I don't give you any of the negatives, any of the downsides, because maybe we don't have a close and intimate relationship where I'm comfortable sharing things that are critical of the company, because I'm not in a position where I want to lose my job. I'm not in a position where I want to lose the good uh, favor that I have. And so there is truth that you are not getting in the stay interviews. I promise you, you're not getting any more You're not getting any more truth necessarily in the stay interviews than you're getting in your exit interviews, which is a whole different topic. Why you're not getting truth in your exit interviews, and I promise you, very often you are not getting the truth from your exit interviews. In fact, there's a fantastic podcast called Manager Tools, and one of their pieces of guidance, and it might be in their associated podcast called Career Tools. They say if you are going through an exit interview, they are interviewing you about why you are leaving. Do not tell them why you are leaving. Simply tell them this has been a fantastic opportunity and I have this other opportunity that I can't resist. And then zip it. Don't answer their questions. Don't tell them why you're leaving. You do not want to give them any reason to feel poorly about you after you leave. So people are actually being given, and it's reasonably good guidance. People are being given the guidance. Do not tell the truth in an exit interview. And so as people are leaving, they're not telling you the truth, and you no longer have control over their paycheck. When you still have control over their paycheck, you better believe that people will not necessarily be telling you the truth. So I've now spent 10 minutes almost telling you why the exit interview, while brilliant, is also dumb and is not going to get you where you want to go, which is the ability to know how and why you can retain people, how you can continue to make people feel very glad about being in your company. So it's no fair to take away what is a pretty good tool, and by saying it's also pretty dumb, and not give you uh, a mechanism by which you can accomplish the goals that you had for your stay interviews. So here's my recommendation. Every manager conduct weekly one-on-ones with every single person who reports directly to them. This is an incredibly powerful tool. You want to be checking in during these one-on-ones. It's not just about what is our business today, but you want to be making regular check-ins on how's it going for you. How's your week been? How's your month been? How are you enjoying your job? How am I doing for you as a manager? What can I do better for you? How can your job be better? What kinds of projects do you want to be on? What kinds of skills do you want to develop? Where do you want to get to in your career? Where do you want to get to this year? Where this quarter? Where this month? And if you're having those regular check-ins about what's valuable to them, how well are you doing as a manager, as a company at making their lives what they want their lives to be in? What this is it is a weekly way. And you're not going to ask all of these questions every single week. You're going to spread them out over the course of months, but be asking along these lines every week. So every week you get a mini stay interview that's in the course of what is a monthly occurrence, so that it doesn't feel like any big deal. People are more likely to be more transparent, to be more forthcoming about what may be getting in their way, about what their frustrations may be. And you can ask directly at that. Hey, what's frustrating you? What has been frustrating you lately? These kinds of questions will get you insight into the employee's actual day to day, week to week, month to month experience, and what is keeping them satisfied or making them dissatisfied. And so if you think of your weekly one-on-one as as including at any rate a mini stay interview, then you can be getting much more frequent information that you can be making lots of iterative micro changes in the way you manage, in the kinds of projects that you put this person on, in the kind of responsibilities that they get, and the kind of support that they get, so that you have the ability to steer down the freeway as you go, instead of closing your eyes for a whole year and hoping you don't hit some kind of obstacle. So that is my suggestion about how to take the brilliance of the new tool in our world, the stay interviews, and make them a lot less dumb, so that they are a lot less powerful, so that you can, excuse me, a lot more powerful, and so that you can take that powerful insight that led to the stay interviews and strip away all of the things that are preventing that insight from being the absolutely fantastic asset that it could be for your business. Now, I've been fairly vague about what to do in your weekly one-on-ones, and you may be objecting already to the idea that you're going to have a meeting 30 minutes every week with every single person who reports to you. Give it a try. Give it a try for 3 months. Tell me if it doesn't save you time. I can almost guarantee that it will save you time and heartache and turnover of your employees. So I've been fairly vague about how to conduct these, what you can do to make the most of that 30 minutes that you have with each of your employees, with each of the people who reports to you. So hit me up. Aaron Schmuckler, I'm the only one here on LinkedIn. Hit me up for a one-on-one guide. I'd be happy to share a very tactical guide with you about here's how to conduct a very effective one-on-one every week that's going to increase your employees' output, decrease the amount of time that you need to spend putting out fires, and also, and importantly, make your people feel incredibly valued, incredibly fulfilled, so that they want to stick around for the long haul. I'm Aaron Schmuckler, CEO and co-founder at the S-Works, where we are helping companies build the kind of culture where people and profits both rise. Hope this has been great for you. It's been good for me. Bye-bye.